Okay. All right,
Just
guys.
just warm up.
Anyway, so guys, Robyn, thanks for being here. We are on our second podcast, 2 in a row. Last week, we actually did, Mike and I, we had a goal, and what we do, like 3, how many times more than our goal? Like 3-4 times more than our goal?
Yeah. So far already, and we didn't do a very good job of
pushing it out there. Guys. Thanks for tuning in. We did a lot better than we expected. A lot more of you guys tuned in than we even hoped for. So thank you very much.
So episode 2. Are you staying in here, Christian?
How many views on episode 1?
No?
Okay. Over 3,000.
Over 3,000. Okay, we're going for 4.
Yeah.
4,000. Yeah.
Oh, at least. Okay.
So at least watch the video for as long as it takes for Facebook or YouTube to count that view, and then you. If I only knew, I'd be a rich.
We don't care. You're gone.
If we knew, we'd be rich people. I think.
Okay.
Well, just a couple things that are really important. Of course, I need to talk about my sons. It was a rough week for the Tigers, but both of my sons threw a touchdown in a varsity game. I mean, they lost the game, but Gunner finally got back in the game in a varsity game, threw a touchdown. He was 5 for 5, 90-some yards, and a touchdown. Cooper had 2 touchdowns passing. So I don't know what the record is, how many dads have had it, but I'm one of the few dads, I'm sure, that have 2 sons that threw a touchdown pass in one varsity game. So that was the highlight of my week.
That is really cool.
Not necessarily the game, but the fact that Gunner's almost back. My boy who got in a car accident, he was, working so hard for his senior year, and then some guy rammed him into a tree, and now the season's half over.
He what him into a tree?
Rammed him into a tree in a truck. He was in the flatbed of a truck and broke his foot in 17 places, but he will be back. He might be back this Friday.
That video of him getting the pins out was like haunting to me.
Yeah, dude.
That was crazy.
I know, it's pretty nasty.
I couldn't believe how long those pins actually were.
And he did it with no painkillers. It was all raw. So, yeah.
Comes from the mom's side.
That's true.
Yep.
Jen actually delivered all 4 of our kids without any,
natural.
Yeah, whatever you call it.
Of course.
No epidural.
The combination of the Lega genetics, of course she did that. The Pole.
The Poli genes.
Lega combination, of course she did with no painkillers.
Now, hey, so real quick, just a reminder, I'm Adam Lega. This is Mike Hartle, and that is Ashley Smith, who is noticeably absent. Our lovely female co-host is late. We know she's late. She says she's on her way. She said 15 minutes 5 minutes ago. So we'll see what girl time actually translates.
Yeah, we'll see if she makes it before the podcast is over or not.
That's right. And then today we have a special guest. It's Robyn Maher. And did I say that right?
It's Maher, but
Maher?
Yeah.
Gosh,
everyone says Maher. Sorry.
Robyn Maher. Yeah. Is that the same as Bill Maher?
I don't claim Bill Maher, no.
But is it the same pronunciation?
Yes, it's the same spelling.
Robyn Maher. I can't believe I've never asked you the pronunciation. That's embarrassing. Okay, so just to kind of go over.
Your name gets
I know my name.
Right?
I don't.
Adam Legas all the time.
But my friends even call me Adam Legas, so I don't even know. Now, Robyn. Many of you that follow us on Instagram know that Robyn is our Riven girl. She also is the mother of 3. Okay. You are an IFBB Bikini Pro. What does that mean to be an IFBB Bikini Pro?
Well, a lot of people around here do the NPC competitions, so they're familiar with that term, the National Physique Committee, which is kind of the amateur level of the bodybuilding shows. And so once you qualify for the national competitions, which they hold 4 or 5 times a year, when you compete at that level, if you win your class, you are awarded an IFBB Pro card, and then you compete only at the professional level.
So when you win the bikini division, that means you can work at Hooters anytime you want, right?
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you.
Now, they need to figure out a new name for bikini division, because I think people don't understand that it's not a typical bikini competition.
Like Hawaiian Tropic
bikini.
Think
some Hawaiian Tropic, like copper tone thing. You just go get sprayed with 4 layers of tan and show up. But I mean, it actually is a bodybuilding competition.
It's
like
fitness.
You're an athlete, you're working,
absolutely.
Eating, training just like any other athlete. But there's just a particular physique that they're looking for, a certain shape. And so it's the least, lean or muscular, and so sometimes it gets that.
I call it the most feminine. It's for sure the most feminine of the. I mean, you guys are the lightest by your height, I would say, wouldn't you agree that per height, you're the lightest weight or have the least amount of
it doesn't
muscle
go by
mass?
weight. Yeah.
I'm saying
it's going to be the highest body fat percentage. I shouldn't say that actually, because that's not necessarily true. But I mean by the looks of it, because it's a little bit fuller, shapelier, or whatever. But a lot of bikini, especially once you get to the pro level, have a really low body fat percentage. Sometimes comparable to like a female, figure physique competitor. But it's just distributed in a different place. The figure competitor is going to have bigger shoulders, bigger back, quads, whereas in bikini, they emphasize obviously the glutes, which everybody knows, but more shoulders, nice legs and calves. You're just more shapely, tiny waist is what they're looking for. So it's just in a different place, but you're still, just as lean, still work just as hard. And
well, I mean, it's obvious just because I know how hard you work that it is something that takes a ton of work. You won the Utah bikini title the first time in March of 2014, right? Is that right?
Well, yeah, in March of 2014, I won all 3 classes that I competed in.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. She's an NASM certified personal trainer. What does NASM stand for?
National Academy of Sports Medicine, association academy.
That sounds pretty hardcore.
We're testing you on all. We're testing you on all your accreditations and all of your.
Let's see if it's real.
From BYU with a bachelor's degree in
from BYU.
So she's got a bachelor's.
They don't revoke that if you compete in a bikini competition.
I thought you got that. Your degree gets revoked from BYU if you win a bikini contest.
We're winning football, so I'm claiming BYU.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
Good.
It's the new BYU.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into the BYU honor code. I don't think bikini competitions qualify as.
They have one on campus. You just have to wear knee-length shorts and
I got kicked out of dances at BYU. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
My shorts were long enough.
So IFBB is essentially the professional level. It's like the Major League Baseball or the NFL of the bodybuilding community. Okay, and then could you quickly explain, because I don't even really know, I mean, I know a lot about it, but what are the different qualifications and classifications for like the women at least of like figure, physique, and figure, bikini, and the other, like kind of what the difference is?
Yeah, that's a really good question. A lot of people ask that. I wish that they would explain that at the NPC shows, because sometimes they announce, here's the figure, we're going into women's figure, next we'll have physique, and people don't really know what that is. So just re-emphasizing, like bikini tends to be your more curvy for the women. It's kind of going to be your least muscular for the women. Then you move into figure, which is going to be a little bit more muscular. In figure, they have standard poses, where in bikini, we can it's a little bit more, it's kind of more of a catwalk. People, it's supposed to just be feminine, like you said, Adam, and sexy. After figure, you have the physique category for women, which kind of moves into more of the bodybuilding category. They come out with bare feet, and they actually do a posing routine, like a bodybuilder. So they will pose to music.
When you say they come out with bare feet, what do you wear?
Women that do bikini and figure wear clear posing shoes, we call them.
Like heels?
Yeah, they're heels.
Yeah. Cool.
Which is half the battle, walking out there in those shoes, looking feminine.
And then there's the new classification, right?
Well, fitness is not new, but in Utah we have a lot of competitors in fitness. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, the fitness category, where again they do a routine to music, but it's more like gymnastic type, aerobatic. Which we have Holly Semenoff, who's a fitness pro here in Utah. I believe she's the first IFBB fitness pro from Utah, but definitely recently. And now we've had more and more people. So thank you, Holly, for opening that up, because I love watching it. I grew up doing gymnastics. And
it is pretty amazing the stuff they do. Those
they're unreal.
The flying push-ups and all those flips, and it's pretty impressive. I actually really enjoy watching. That used to be on ESPN a lot. Like it used to be on ESPN. The fitness part of, didn't it used to be like a normal part of the IFBB or something? There used to be fitness competitions on TV back in the late 90s. I remember those.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch them back at that point, but fitness is a part of the national shows, and you'll see it when you go to nationals and IFBB.
Most of those girls were like competitive gymnasts in college.
A lot of them are. Yeah, they require certain tumbling passes, one-arm push-up. There's a certain number of flexibility moves and things that they have to do during their routine.
So obviously you didn't watch those during the 80s. We were going to talk to you, what made you, I'm always curious, what makes people want to get into the NPC and the IFBB, because I sometimes am like, maybe I would try that, and then I'm like, nah.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to go into is you guys will see on the video.
Let's show a before and after picture right here.
All right, let's show that.
We're gonna show. We
You know,
got some before and after
obviously,
pictures of you.
you haven't always been totally ripped, totally lean. You haven't always been in shape. What was it, like Mike's saying, that just got you to say, you know what, I want to be fit? Or did you want to compete right from the start?
Yeah, it was a slow progression.
How did it come about? What triggered it? And then how did you decide to take it as far as you have?
I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. If you go back to originally, like how I got into health and fitness, like growing up, I was kind of an average kid, but in high school, I was a little bit on the chubbier side. Or I felt like I was chubbier than my friends, So as a girl, that's kind of hard, as far as your confidence and things like that. And then once I went to college, to kind of gain the additional, 15, whatever, 20 pounds that, freshman 15 or whatever. So
you're saying that happened?
I'm only 5'2".
5'2", so 20 pounds. That's
Yeah, it was. So I hit about 130 pounds, which, it depends on the body type. I know some girls that are my height that can hold that kind of a Kardashian type body, the curves in the right places. But for me, it doesn't. I mean, I just literally get like 3 chins, and I was really uncomfortable, literally in my clothes and in my skin, and didn't feel good at all. So I started getting into, health and nutrition. I got a gym membership down when, if anyone remembers, I'm dating myself, World Gym down at the bottom of the hill. So I started working out there. I had no idea what I was doing, but anyway, long story short, it led me to declare my major and get really fit. So I kind of had a little bit of a transformation then. I wish I took pictures. I was so insecure, hated every picture of myself, so I don't have a whole lot of pictures from then. But I went from my freshman year to my sophomore year, I went down to about 110, I think, 112 or something, and felt a lot better and had a little bit more confidence or whatever. So that's when I sort of declared my major and decided to do exercise science and just absolutely love it. Like ever since, I just had total passion for it and love everything to do with it. So fast forward quite a few years to back in, I think it's 2010 that I started to train for my first competition, because by then I was a certified trainer, had been in the industry, had run a bunch of marathons and half marathons, but I thought, bucket list, I want to do it just once, see what it's like. As you hear a lot of people say, want to see where you could take your physique, like if I really put everything into it, what could happen kind of thing. Yeah. So I never ever imagined that I would love it.
Well, do you? I mean, I know like your username on Instagram is SLC Running
Girl Running. Yeah.
Girl Running. So do you miss running as much as you did, or do you enjoy the gym more than the distance running?
That's really funny. It kind of went to that place for me. I mean, both the running and the lifting, like for me, it's a total outlet. Like a lot of people on the outside that don't lift or don't like the gym life thing, don't really get it. But to me, it's just like maybe gardening is for someone else, or quilting. That's what I kind of compare it when people are like, you're so selfish. How can you spend so much time in the gym, or you're this and you're that? People tend to be a little bit judgmental.
It's your hobby, and your lifestyle.
It's my hobby, and really for me, it's just where I check out and I kind of just, get focused. It's almost meditative in a way, just like running was as well. So my username originally came from the running and all the long distance training that I did. Today it means a little bit more like I'm just kind of running from here to there all the time. So.
You are a busy lady. So you've got 3 kids. Do you have a full-time job?
I do,
A full-time job. You compete. I mean, how do you possibly fit? I mean, how many times a day do you train typically?
Usually twice.
Twice a day. So twice a day, 3 kids. And I know you don't eat regular food, because another thing that I was going to say in her introduction is she is a fit food junkie. So she makes these recipes that that you send out to your followers, and they're unbelievable. I mean, that somebody might actually think that tastes good. I mean, because when I see the ingredients, I think, wow. I've never actually tasted them, but because there was a time in college where I wanted to be just ripped, and that was way back in 94, 95, and they didn't have the technology of products that they have nowadays, where you have the Quest bars and stuff. I mean, I literally ate raw tuna fish out of a can and raw broccoli.
Don't do that. Please don't.
That's all I did. And I would have Grey Poupon. Grey Poupon was when I was really going hardcore. I would get the Grey Poupon instead of just the French's yellow mustard.
Someone's here.
Hold on.
Let's time out.
She's here.
Hey, come on in.
I told you it's the wrong door. That's not the right door. That's
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Sorry.
Hey, that was actually,
That was like real 15
dude,
minutes.
Ash, that was an
Okay.
actual 15 minutes.
Okay, you know when girls are like, "Oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes," and they're like doing their hair.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those girls. That's not me.
Like
Well, that's
actually,
awesome.
Be for real. 15
Where are you coming
minutes.
from, Ashley?
work.
Your mom's house.
You smell kind of like crab cake.
Biscuits.
I'm
Yeah,
coming from your
cheese
mom's
biscuits.
house, Adam.
There you go. There you go.
No, I'm coming from
from your mom's house.
Red Lobster.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We'll
Plug
get
the
him as
Red
a sponsor
Lobster.
one day.
In fact,
One day.
that's
Red Lobster.
my favorite commercial right now. Is those two? There's those two dudes riding on the Amish buggy, and the dude's making fun of the Amish dude. He's like, "So, what's it like not having the internet?" He goes, "It's not so bad. I just get the pictures of your mom in the mail."
Oh, yes.
That's a good one. Man. I like that.
Yeah.
Love it.
I thought you were
Okay.
gonna say that Red Lobster is your favorite commercial. If anyone participates in Endless Shrimp, you can stop watching these podcasts, not be my friend anymore.
Dash
never talk
participates
about
in
it.
Endless
Right
Shrimp.
now.
We went to Takano's for his birthday yesterday, and he can pack away like 5 pounds of shrimp. So I'm not
Where
even
does it all
joking.
go?
5
on
pounds.
that?
Hey, is there any way to see if we're all even in this thing?
Yeah, we're all in it. You can go look in there.
sure?
Yeah, let me go. I'll go look. This is how you know.
Okay,
we're
so
live.
anyway, we'll keep talking. Yeah, this is how you.
Oh, it's for real life? Yeah, I'm in it. Well, I'm gonna scoot it.
Okay, scoot in, scoot in,
Okay.
crunch,
We're
crunch
friends.
in.
We love each other.
Okay.
Hey, and easy on the mic today, killer.
It's a little bruised. From
Last
the
time you were
other day.
yanking it out like you're Taylor Swift and
Oh, for real?
or
Could you hear
Kanye
it?
West trying
Yeah,
to
we could
take
hear
it
it.
from
Oh,
Taylor Swift, and it
sorry.
was loud and
Sorry,
ruined
sorry.
the sound. But
We're trying to make it
Still
easy on
great.
the ears.
Sorry,
The
guys.
sound.
Not
But
Okay.
other than that, awesome.
I know, well,
Yeah,
duh.
right. Yeah.
Duh.
But you look amazing. So.
Stop it, you do.
So I mean, that was the thing that for me made it so.
Harder.
I have such an aversion to wanting to be ripped anymore because I remember how much I suffered.
doesn't
Like it
have
was
to be
suffering.
that way. That's
So
the-
how do you have the time to prepare and work and train and actually eat something that tastes
Don't sleep ever.
edible? Like how do
For real.
you
I
eat
know.
something edible for real?
No, I love food, seriously. So, and I teach my clients this, like when I give them meal plans, it's almost like my mission, like is to teach people that you can enjoy food and eat healthy food that has flavor and not be miserable. I promise it's true. A lot of people don't believe it.
Like
They
give
literally
us an
think, like,
example of
I can't
something
eat I
that
don't know
would
how
be
you do that.
good. Give us an example of something that would be good and
okay,
healthy.
So something I just made the other day, and I love looking. You can talk about Thailand in a minute, but I love Thai flavored anything. And so
Hold on. I forgot to introduce that. She
Yeah.
is fluent in Thai.
I didn't
Shut
know
up.
She
that.
speaks Thai. Robyn
it.
talk Thai.
Food Thaiได้นะคะ
Dang.
Nidio.
What does that mean?
What if anybody?
Thai.
Robyn
From our
talk Thai
Thai-
real good.
There's
How?
our van coming. You see it?
I want to drive
Someone's
it.
coming.
Just let me drive
It's
the
already
van.
Ash.
Yeah,
Let
but
me
anyways, I
drive
like
it.
Thai food, so I love like spicy stuff or like peanut flavored things. So, for example, one way I save time is by buying pre-washed, pre-bagged, like chopped veggies, whatever. It's totally worth it. Because if you're not getting healthy, you're not getting veggies anyway, why not spend a little bit more money and actually eat them? That's
Okay.
my idea on that. So, I like to buy the coleslaw mix, that's just plain,
Yeah.
like broccoli slaw, cabbage slaw, sriracha, okay, natural peanut butter, or you can do like your PB2 powdered peanut butter if you guys know what that is
Yeah,
to
the
save a little
powdered
bit of
peanut
fat.
butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make like a spicy peanut sauce in there. Green onions, garlic, fresh ginger, chopped grilled chicken on that.
How long does that take you
Amazing.
to make that?
Oh my gosh, I would make that. I don't ever use a chopping board or anything. If I even get a knife out, like I'll do it right
Huh.
in the bowl.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like super lazy in the kitchen. I don't want to do dishes either.
And do you
so-
make that like fresh like every time, or do you like make
No.
it for your meal plan? Like you plan out your week?
Yeah, usually like in the evening, probably twice a week. Like
Okay.
I'll be cleaning up dinner after the kids, whatever, they're doing homework, and then I'll get out, like I'll line up my empty Tupperware things or whatever you choose to put your meals in. And I would like literally have the bag of like washed spinach or romaine lettuce where it's already chopped up and whatever, or that cabbage slaw mix like I just mentioned. And I'll scoop out, a cup or two and put it in each container if that's what I feel like eating. And then I cooked a whole bunch of chicken, usually an entire tray, so a few pounds at a time. And then I do weigh it because I want to know exactly what I'm eating. So I'll weigh and usually have 4 ounces of chicken in a serving. So I throw 4 ounces on top of each one. So I usually do at least 8 to 12 meals depending on how much food I have at a time. But it could be different stuff. So I'll mix it all up, or that week I might have sweet potatoes for my carbs or brown rice. So that's the key, is just mixing up all the time. Like what you said, eating tuna like every meal, I would want to kill myself too.
Yeah.
My biggest
Or
thing
spice
is
it
I'm
differently, flavor
every
it
time I go on a meal plan, I'm so picky that like I hate green vegetables
Yeah,
for
I
the
don't
most
like
part.
greens, thank you.
And so it's really hard for me because I'm like, okay, well,
I love
I don't want to
everything,
eat
so I don't
fish.
get it.
I don't want to eat broccoli. I don't want to eat asparagus.
Don't have to
What
eat
else
all
do you
those
got
things
for
up.
me? You know,
Well, think
so
about it. I mean, you go into the grocery. This is what cracks me up: is people who act like that's all there is to
Mm-hmm.
eat, right? Green beans, broccoli, asparagus, chicken, and fish. Like there are so many other things out there. Like your proteins, you just can't have fried chicken or battered breaded stuff, but you can have any other protein. I mean, I will list it for my clients. They start complaining. I'll be like red snapper, cod, tilapia. Tilapia's kind of the bottom feeders. Don't eat that, but
I love tilapia.
salmon. You can go through all the different fishes.
I do.
Chicken, egg whites.
what zero
There's a
fish though?
ton.
Like zero fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
So
I mean, I don't know
just-
about you. How do you feel about
turkey
seafood?
breast, ground
Seafood.
turkey,
Ooh,
chicken.
you know what? I actually would just rather eat cake. So
But that's
unless
protein cake.
Protein
Yeah.
cake.
Your powder.
But I've seen
I
you
make
like
cake.
you eat
I
like
eat
protein pancakes. Like
Yeah,
those
and
seem
they're
like
like
they
cake.
would
Yeah.
taste disgusting.
No, they're good.
They really don't taste
I literally
disgusting.
make it with just my protein powder and egg whites, and then if I can have the flexibility, like sugar-free syrup.
Okay, but let me ask you a
Or peanut
question.
butter. I
If
just
you
thought of
ever
peanut
have a
butter.
kid
Yeah.
who's spending the night
Give me
with
the
your
running theme
kid,
here.
because I know your kids are probably used
Yeah.
to eating your
Yeah.
food. Like if a neighbor kid came over and you made them protein pancakes, would they actually eat it?
I think they would. They
No.
have.
Oh,
Hey,
They have?
I have
They
timeout
have.
though because I'm gonna call Robyn out. I
can
have
call me
seen her
out.
kids eating Chick-fil-A. Like they brought the bag over, and so
Yeah.
I was really happy. Like,
I ate
Those
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Totally
The
made me
grilled
feel
chicken
good.
nuggets?
I did not claim we're absolutely 100% perfect because honestly,
Wait, does that mean?
I
Does that
feel
mean
I'm
is he
not that
calling you out on a
house. You
cheat
can call
meal?
me out.
No.
It's
She wasn't
Chick-fil-A.
eating. She wasn't eating. Her kids were. So I was like, oh, good.
You know,
Even Robyn's
my
kids eat
have
Chick-fil-A, you know?
Sometimes they would go to the Maverick and get a soda sometimes because I honestly I don't want to be so extreme to the one side that my kids end up with like total issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's really, really important though for parents to not use the excuse like, oh, they're just so picky or that doesn't taste good to them. Like, I'm sorry, this is what I compare it to. If your kid was running out into a busy road, would you say, oh, they like playing in the middle of the street?
Yeah.
That's where they have fun. No, you wouldn't, right?
It's
You
just
would go
the-
get your kid
yeah.
and pull him back because it's not
That's
safe.
the way I played.
And food is the same way. Like, we have a serious problem.
I'm picky, and
in
my
this country,
kids.
so.
I was cursed. Like revenge comes around for what I did to my parents. Like my kids are all super
Super
picky.
picky.
Every
Really?
one of them, all of them. So makes
My
it
My
kids
dad
have
was like
no
that.
hard
choice.
hard
My
meal
siblings
time
are like
around
that.
My
the
kids
old
will
Hartle
starve
house.
to death if they tried to be
Yeah.
picky.
But I mean, on that note, where you said broccoli or asparagus or whatever, is like, I mean, you think about the produce section, you go to the produce section, you can have almost every single vegetable there, other than maybe like the starchy stuff like peas and carrots.
Yeah.
Ashley knows because you've been on a
Yeah.
competition diet. You know, the
Yep.
certain potatoes or, you know,
So
carrots or peas.
So
but-
yeah, Ashley's also competed. If we didn't bring that up last time, so
Yes.
I wanted
We
to
did.
talk about this because you love the lifestyle, obviously, right? And like our long term.
We're going to back.
Long term, like you found it to be sustainable to compete for years at a time,
Right.
and
Not just
But
compete,
it's
live.
because
yeah,
of this,
live,
because
yeah,
of the
and
food
and
thing.
fully dedicate to that lifestyle like year round, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, Ashley has found she's competed as well at like high levels, and I think you've decided that it's not so much.
My
Like
thing.
it's too
For-
extreme or it was
like-
negative
Well,
for you, right?
so I'm all for health and fitness and everything like that, but I just found competing and stuff like that. It came to a point where I cared so much about how I looked that was all that mattered to me was how I looked, and I felt like I would wake up in the morning and all that mattered to me was like how I looked, and it was like it's personal
Like
to me.
abject, like-
Yeah, literally, and so it came to a point where it's like I don't have maybe the time, and maybe that's an excuse. That could be an excuse, and a lot of people could say it is an excuse to make like necessarily like my food tastes really good and like all that stuff. So I hated it. Like there was a lot of food that I hated, and I didn't eat for taste. I ate for
They don't have
Well,
protein.
I eat
they
for
don't have.
macros. I mean, I have
Yeah,
to
I ate
eat
for
and I
macros.
have to say I got to get this
And-
much protein or this
yeah.
much carbs, but I guess, and maybe it's just because I've been doing it so many years now, like in my head, I just think like, okay, I got to get this many grams of
Yeah.
carbohydrates, so I could have oats, I could have rice, I could have a certain kind of wrap if that's approved, or like
Yeah.
an Ezekiel bread. You know, so in my head, currently I have a checklist, sweet potato. So if I'm getting, 25 grams of carbs at that meal, then I just choose which one I want to eat. So even if you get a meal plan, and again, this is what I teach my
But
clients
like
to make
her,
it feasible and
if
doable.
she wanted 25 grams of Oreos, I mean 25
Are
grams
we
of sugar.
going into if it fits your
like
macros?
how
Are we
does
going
that
there?
like does that work? Can you have 25 grams of sugar?
I
in
never,
Oreos?
No,
and I don't
people do
even
that.
believe in like if it's your macros. I mean, if it works for you, whatever. If
Right.
you do you. If you like it, great. I have no
Right.
problem with anyone who competes or anything or anyone who diets. I totally respect the hell out of people who can do it. But personally, like, I just was like, there's more to life. To
How
me,
many
for
shows
me.
did you do?
3.
3?
And I'm doing my last one.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you like
when are you doing it?
gave it up.
November.
Awesome.
Don't look at me. I'm not ready. Stop. Don't look at me. I'm not ready.
So what
How
I'm
many weeks out is that?
9.
9 weeks.
So 9 weeks.
So yeah, because I mean, I don't think Robyn, like, I don't think you have the expectation that most people are going to like live like an IFBB pro
No, they
all
don't
the
need
time.
to.
But like that's why we wanted, like, why we think so highly of you and why we wanted you to come on is like the nutritional. Like everybody has to find what's
So
healthy and what
respectable
works for
and
them.
admirable.
It's totally individual.
I have a question because like you hear sometimes on the other side of things too, like, well, you don't eat enough carbs long term, and it's actually like really unhealthy for you, like long term. Like, how do you
People
feel?
have so much to
how do you
say about it.
Opinions.
feel about
So many
that?
strong
Or is that
opinions.
just like people like hating on?
Hating.
On the
totally
lifestyle.
hating.
Well, I would like to just put this out there. I don't understand why so many people hate on this sport so bad. Like, if
Jealousy.
you had a
Everyone's just jelly that we look better than
you have a
them.
friend that does
I
an
think
Ironman.
girls
People
hate on
are
it
like,
more
you're
than-
amazing. That's such an incredible feat. Good for you. I mean, do they know the hours? They train longer than I do. Way longer than I do. To run a marathon, that means you're going out and you're running like whatever, depending on your pace.
The biking
2 hour,
is what
3 hour
takes
runs,
forever.
biking.
Yeah.
I mean, way more time than I spend in the gym. And they're an athlete. They're going to have to eat a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as well,
I
so-
think the hate on the culture from an outside perspective, because
just
I've never
looks-
competed.
it's so aesthetic.
Yeah, and I
It
mean, it's
seems vain to
people
some
think it's a
people.
selfish sport that it's all about. But I mean, for what I've seen, like there's teams, people like are generally really positive and supporting of other people,
Yeah.
and I feel like for what I've seen, it's mostly a few people with that.
Which in any sport,
That-
I think what Dennis Rodman did back in basketball, right? I mean, you're going to have
Yeah,
a few bad
or-
representatives.
Yeah.
Or you have the obnoxious
Absolutely.
people
Of
who
the
neither of you are
sport.
like this, that's all they post about or on social media
Yeah.
or whatever, and it just I think that's what kind of rubs a lot of people the wrong way is it's like, okay, we get it, you like to go to the gym and eat healthy,
Okay,
what's
but
the
this
rest
is-
of your
on
life
that
about?
note, this is what I have to say though. If I bring back like that quilting example, right? Say
You know,
I
my
love
mom
quilting.
is
I have
an
friends who
expert
love
quilter.
right?
My mom actually gets paid.
How much does she spend on fabric?
No, for real.
a year?
Sort of.
on
My mom is
Swerve
really
so hard
frugal.
on that.
Okay, well, no,
She
okay, let's
works.
take- no,
She's very frugal, but what I mean is she quilts the entire time my dad and I are watching football.
Hours
She
and
just
hours
quilts.
a day,
But
right? I
yeah,
know people
hours.
that quilt, they spend thousands
Countless,
of dollars on
yeah.
fabric. You can go to a room in their house and it's full wall to wall of fabric.
My mom has a
that
quilting
they have
room.
spent money on.
It's a
Right?
room.
Thank you. Machines.
Yeah.
No one hates on these people.
No.
one is saying you're so selfish.
People hate
that
on
you
my
take all
mom
this time
because
to
she's
quilt.
really attractive and
No
can
one said
quilt. Normally, you're supposed
That's
to be chubby,
sweet. I want to be that when I grow up.
and
So-
have a big
Hot
bonnet,
quilter.
hairdo,
I'm always curious about this, but I feel what's the like what situation, maybe you don't have to call out, but like what's the most amount of like hate or like jealousy that you've
No, I'll
experienced?
tell you. I can still, because I still remember how I felt. I had someone that was a client of mine. It was a really uncomfortable situation. Looked me right in the eye and said, "You're disgusting."
Ew.
She said, "That's disgusting."
Why?
And I was so
I hate
taken
mean
back.
people.
Like, I would never
Like
say
your
that
physique?
to someone. She
Or,
was
like,
just saying like
just
you're
competing?
a disgusting person for getting up on stage and doing that. Which I mean, she can have an opinion. That's fine. But I would never go up to anyone, no matter what they're doing, and say that to someone.
Well-
I think that's very disrespectful. And to me, that said a lot about the type of person she was. But that,
Well, what people
that
say about
hurt.
other people
That was
Because it's
really
kind of like the old
themselves.
reverse
Really
body
hateful.
shaming,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
Well,
Which-
I want both of you girls to discuss this because I see a lot of posts and read the comments just because I'm curious where, I see people freak out if somebody ever says somebody is chubby or somebody's overweight. But I see a lot of girls that are, that like say someone who maybe has 20,000 followers on Instagram or whatever, they don't think everyone's going to read the post. And so they're like, oh, I think that's disgusting. That girl looks so manly. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want my muscles to look like that. And, they're insulting
Yeah,
that.
everything
They're
under the sun.
insulting
Well-
that girl's body. And just in the same way they would insult a fat girl's body, but why does it seem acceptable for people to insult a girl who maybe is muscular instead of fat?
I think
what are your
because
thoughts on
I
that?
think a main thing is because someone who has that amount of muscle obviously like spends a lot of time and work, and they would someone commenting probably would think like, oh, they have the confidence that they don't or if they're posting like this, if they can post a picture in a small bikini, then they don't care what people think, or they don't care what what I have to say about them because I'm entitled to my own opinion. But someone who's larger or overweight or something obviously wouldn't be posting like tons of pictures on stage, like in a bikini or whatever. So I mean, it makes sense to an extent, but at the same time, like, it's not acceptable because it's not like
It just comes down to respect.
like
in my
it's.
opinion.
I find it to get to that level of muscle, it takes it is so insane how hard they train and the work that they put in that like
Because physiologically, it's a lot harder.
it's so much harder. And so the respect level that I have for those women like blows my mind because it's hard to get there. But for someone to comment on that, it just
But I just think
like-
all that aside, and this is just the way I see it, at the end of the day, like, it's just respect. Like,
Yeah.
we're all allowed our opinion, but I don't walk up to random strangers or comment on, people's Instagram if they wear something that I wouldn't wear, or if they do something that I wouldn't do. So what? Like, don't comment.
yeah.
And one of my favorite people I follow, Brandon Foken, like, posted something about that the other day. It was something about, like, oh, so you saw something online or on Instagram that offended you, and you shut your computer and you walked away and you didn't say anything. And that was his whole point. Was like,
Yeah.
good job, you're a grown up. Because so what? Like, why do you have to tear? What do you get?
Yeah,
out
there
of
for
that?
sure is
You
the
tear
stigma
someone
of that
down.
reverse, and whether it's fueled from like, I just don't have the dedication to do that, or
Yeah.
there's the hate, but like, and I see it way more for women
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
men. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
like,
Well, that's
Men
it,
just
too,
don't
especially
care.
The bikini division, no
men are
one,
like,
Yeah.
oh,
no
dude,
one
that guy looks
comments about
jacked. I
a
wish I
man-
looked like that.
No one comments on about a man
Right.
wearing a teeny tiny, posing trunks. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no secrets in those trunks, right?
Yeah.
No one comments
I
about
think
it being in a.
guys do.
Sorry, I'm going there.
I mean, when I see
it's
guys
not
posing at the
inappropriate.
gym
they have to turn
with
around
their
with their
bikini
back to the
bottoms on.
judges. They're squeezing their glutes. Like, how is that less offensive, if that's what you're gonna
I
say?
know.
Well, I think those
Than a
guys get
female. It's
teased more than
muscle.
you think.
We're looking at certain,
Yeah.
and maybe they do, but not as much, not the same.
Not like you look
stigma that we're
disgusting.
talking
No,
You know
no,
what I
like,
mean?
you look
Like,
disgusting, but
Not like
like,
that is wrong,
yeah. No, I agree.
But
I agree.
I think whether it's muscle or whether it's someone who's skinny, because I know girls who can't put on a pound for their life. They eat all day
Yeah.
long, and they're skinny, and people accuse them of having an eating disorder.
Yeah.
So again, it just goes back to like respecting. You don't know like what that person's going through.
Exactly.
You don't know what their health conditions might be. Like, it's just respecting other people.
Well, just
You
like
don't
my
need to
mom
share your
taught me,
opinion.
if you don't have something nice to say,
let's-
then don't say anything at all.
Right, let's go
No,
back
I
to
don't
the
understand
garden.
that.
Wasn't
Like,
that Thumper's
people don't
mom that
know.
said that?
yeah.
What was that?
Thumper from Bambi.
Thumper's mom.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
that's
it was
one
my
of the
mom
things-
too.
Thumper's
Sweet
important.
Betsy said that to me.
I've wanted
Sweet,
to
sweet
bring this
Betsy.
up.
But see, I
Sweet
actually
Betsy
think-
told
I think
me,
it's
you don't have
actually
anything nice
more
to say, don't say it at all.
Ashley, to a girl like you or Robyn, it's more insulting, in my opinion, to be mean to someone who obviously puts effort
Yeah.
into that physique,
Mm-hmm.
than
100%.
and to criticize someone who's actually proactively making an effort and who cares and is working towards something, and then insult it, than to say that someone doesn't look good when all they're really doing is sitting on a couch watching,
Yeah.
Well, and see, I see the
TV.
same way. I mean, to like make assumptions or make comments about someone who's fit. People will assume that you're vain or that you spend all day. I've had people say to me, "Oh, you're so lucky that you can spend all day at the gym."
Yeah, or that you don't have anything
Yeah.
else to do.
Like, I get up at
Single
5
mom,
a.m. so
3
that I
kids.
can work out and then be back home. Everyone who sees me at the gym first thing in the morning can tell you. I
Yeah.
run out of there at like 7 o'clock, 7:05 because I want to see my kids. They've just woken up. They're having breakfast. I want to send them off to school. And then I get ready in like 15, 20 minutes, talk about it, and then get to work. And I work full time all day.
Yeah.
And then I'll usually go at lunch to lift. And I do all that so that I can be home, at 5 and see my kids as soon as possible after school, help them with their homework, make dinner for them, blah, blah, blah. So
That's
I'm like,
amazing.
you're making assumptions that you
That's
don't
like
even know. You're
Wonder
calling me
Woman
vain and
stuff, yeah.
selfish. Well, and I'm not saying that for
No,
that
but it
reason.
really
I'm
is.
But you love it, like, and you've
I
grown
love
to
it
love
way.
that.
Yeah, I'm not complaining at all. I do not sit there and say, oh, it's so hard. I do this and this and this. I love it, so I fit it in. I just make it work where it fits. And that's what I try and teach other people. You don't have to compete. You don't have to be an IFBB pro. If it doesn't mean anything to you, don't do it. Don't do an NPC competition one time and then walk away. Honestly, I don't like it when people do that. And I have clients who say that. Sometimes they're cheating on their diet or they're doing everything half-assed. And I'm like, why? Why bother? Because in my opinion, you're wasting the judges' time. They don't get paid anything. They sit there all day long. They don't move from their chair from 8 a.m. to like midnight. And I really respect that. The judges and, our local Stevens who Schmall who put on the shows, they do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And like when you're up there and they're working on these classes and organizing those shows, like it takes away, in my opinion, from everybody else who has put in everything. I mean, Ashley's done it, worked her butt off. She looked amazing,
no.
you know, at her shows.
Thank you.
And so
No.
to me it's kind of insulting, honestly, because some people take it really seriously and they're athletes and they go into it like that. So to just turn up and get a couple layers of spray tan and take it like it's a
Well, it's like
copper tone
like
contest.
I was planning on doing that until you.
a lot of people
said
like
that.
the
No.
reason why they compete is extremely important to them. Like the reason why I started
Sometimes it's
competing was
personal.
like extremely personal, and like a lot of people who don't have a reason to compete or something, like it's like why do it then? Like why? Because it's like you're kind of taking away from people who literally like this has been something that I've like watched and followed since I was like 16, and like it's important to me. And so it's like when someone gets up and is like, oh, I'm just here because I
just gonna
can
do it
be.
just to do it. I've
I'm
heard
just
people
gonna.
say that.
It's like I'm just gonna do it. No,
Like a bucket list thing.
Like
I mean, obviously they can. It's a free country. Do it.
Yeah,
but I just
totally makes
it's
sense.
A sport. Like I say to people,
So
like I
you
wouldn't
don't
just
like
turn up at
the
some track
girls that do it
competition.
as a bucket list thing.
I just if they're taking it seriously and they're all in, then
Totally,
absolutely
yeah.
do it and take it seriously and
But
you know
not just
approach
the
it like a
girls that
sport.
get skinny and get tan.
Well,
Those
some
are
people
the-
do it like they obviously come and they haven't
Because that's the
practiced
reputation
posing, they don't
sometimes
know.
for the bikini girls is
For
that
sure,
like
yeah.
yeah, which a lot of
they
times
just got
people,
skinny and got tan.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they don't really know anything about the sport. Like there are people who turn up and literally don't know the process. They don't know where to stand. They don't know what to do. They're not wearing an appropriate type of suit for the competition.
Yeah.
So I just think at least do
It's a
your
slap in the
research
face to the people who really care
Yeah.
about it. And I understand like
It's just kind of-
the competing world also is like it's kind of super foreign to a lot of people. A lot of when you go into it, you kind of have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like you have to kind of care about it enough to really
It's a
figure out
sport.
what it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, I think that's like anything. You have to.
Right, like would you sign up for
gain
a
the
marathon and
skills
just like
and-
throw on some shorts and like some old shoes, like just sitting in your closet? Like, you know, if you're gonna do a marathon, usually you've followed a training program, right? You've probably like eaten a certain way to prepare for that day. It's a sport, it's an event, so I don't know,
Yeah.
I guess I just think of it that way. But
Well, you know, I mean, one part of your sport that I know that in both of you girls compete in the bikini class, and the fad right now in America, at least, is huge butts. I mean, like for example, two of the most famous women in America are Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian.
That's
I'm sure we got
fake.
pictures posted of them. And so, what do you think? Do you
Fake.
think those are real?
No.
Because I got before and after pictures
No.
that you
No.
guys will have see on here, and so you think
So we're going
that-
from NPC to
Yeah, no, I
to
think that's
fake
real.
butts, just like.
Because I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious. Like, have you ever seen? I mean, because I know that
Oh, I've seen it
having
on
a
stage.
shapely physique
Yeah.
and a shapely glute or butt, whatever you
Well,
want to
it's a
call
muscle
it.
group. Okay,
nice
so
ass.
people don't like that you have to, you know, turn and you know show the backside, but as we know, like that separates the
It has nothing
the
to
girls
do
from the
with, like-
women, you know, on stage
Well, really,
in bikini,
though.
like because a girl can look amazing from the front, have a six pack, and
you
literally
turn
you
around?
turn around and show those muscle groups. It's all over.
But
I mean,
like
that's what
for
the contest is one.
the thing
really.
is, and it's super
have
hard
to.
because there's a really fine line that I feel like a lot of people cross back and forth. And the thing is there's like to me it's like oh she does. It's not like oh she has a super nice ass. It's like it's an actual like muscle group. Like you
Yeah.
respect like glutes and hamstrings and hamstring
Yeah.
tie-ins
Work.
and
Yeah.
glute and
Serious
hamstring
work.
connections. And it's like we don't really look at it as like a sexual thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's really like that's
muscle group.
hard work. Like she put in hard work and she works her
Yeah.
butt off
So what do you
to
think?
like
What's the
symmetry
difference?
and
What's the
shape.
difference to you girls between having? I mean, because breast implants are totally normal. That's totally accepted in today's
true.
community.
That's a good
So
point.
what's the difference between a glute implant and a butt implant? I mean, I know what I would
I'll
say
tell
the
you
difference
exactly
is.
the difference because you can't, no matter how hard you work, you can't just grow
no, it
breast
takes
tissue and be feminine. See, that's the way I see it.
Yeah.
It's like it makes you feminine. It gives you a shape. So for a woman, because we could get on that whole subject. Like
Yeah.
a woman has a double mastectomy, people have empathy for her,
Mm-hmm.
right? She gets reconstructive surgery. People are like, oh wow, yeah, she wants to be a woman, right?
Yeah.
And get that back. No one judges that person. But you take, speaking as a mom of three, someone who ends up with zero. You go get reconstructed, and it's like, oh, all hell breaks loose. Like people have very strong opinions on whether that's
Well,
right
and
or
it's
wrong.
like,
And
you
in the
can't-
industry,
It's becoming
a whole subject in our
less. I
industry,
mean,
too.
it
Oh,
seems
yeah,
to
but
me
we're gonna
like
talk.
it's really. I mean, because I mean, most
3 out
of
of
the,
4
most
women in
most of the
Utah
people
don't.
I know, most women I know that are my wife's age. I mean, it's just normal. I mean, a lot of women
Well,
have
because you
that.
can't naturally. You
But
can
can't
squat.
increase that tissue, but you can squat.
You can squat and squat and
lift.
squat, and you can grow a butt. You
Yeah.
can. Like, it is
Yeah.
possible. I've done it myself. I used
Yeah.
to
So
have
you're saying
pancake ass.
that
But-
Nicki Minaj
No,
and Kim
sorry.
Kardashian
They've
didn't
just
get
been
that from
working so
squatting?
hard. No, I'm kidding.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
there's-
to me, it's like if someone were to compete with glute implants, like, I look at that and it's like, that's lazy. Like, you're
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but like, for.
Can you tell the
'cause you can't-
difference?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell?
I have seen it on stage where you could tell.
Yeah.
From the
It's
side,
very-
they literally looked like they were just like hanging there.
And it's like,
There was
because
no
you can
shape
grow that
to
and you
it.
can put in the work to get
Yeah.
that. I
You can
can't
achieve
grow boobs.
Yeah.
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 I can't. So
And
it's
it
like,
does affect
Yeah.
your shape and
Yeah.
how your body looks and how feminine you feel. So that's
Well, see, and I agree with that.
Not
See, and
everyone
that's the
can
thing
agree.
that I agree that I respect that because it does take a lot of work to grow muscles. I mean, I lift weights 2-3 days a week, and it's a lot of work. And no matter, I mean, I'm at a point now where, I really can't get much bigger because
Because you're weak.
Because I'm so massive.
Yeah.
No, but I know how hard it is to grow muscle. I mean, I'm 45.
So
I'm at
swole.
the point now where I really I'm more in a maintenance or shrinking stage is more what I would call it. And every time I go, every time I
Adam
go
acts
to
like
the
he's
gym-
on the verge of like his death. He's like
Yeah.
about to go on his deathbed
Oh,
next
for
year.
real. When I go to the gym and I can do as
Right?
many,
Cane
and I
next
can
year.
do,
Yeah.
listen, listen, Linda, listen. When I go to the gym
I didn't get that
and,
reference at all.
and I can do as many reps
oh my.
in a chest workout as I could do the workout before, I'm totally stoked because I feel like I didn't.
Because
get
you're
weaker.
old.
going
I
down.
didn't,
Because
I didn't
you're
go
old.
backwards. Like that's an accomplishment to me. So I mean, we're all at a different stage in our life, and I totally respect that a woman can work. It's so much different than when I first started going to the gym 20 years ago. You never saw a girl do squats. Like it didn't. You just wouldn't see a girl in the squat rack. It was only athletes. It
girls
was
were trying
like
to get
football
skinnier.
players.
Yeah.
Girls were on
Yeah.
the treadmill. Guys were in the weight room. And now girls are fighting for the squat racks. I would say I see more girls squatting than guys.
Yeah, well, because. No.
Because guys,
Because
they
guys
wear
just
baggy
want their
basketball
chest and
shorts,
their.
want big
Yeah,
pecs
they
and
just want
big
their
arms.
biceps
So
and
are
their
you
chest
saying
to be
that guys
so big. Have
wanna
chicken legs?
skip
Yes.
leg day more?
All the
Yes.
time.
Yes.
And guys don't know that when they skip leg day, they're actually hurting their upper body too. That if they were to do leg day, their upper body would grow even more.
Why is that? Why is that? Is it
Robyn,
releases-
how about let's hand it to Robyn?
Why?
Releases the test, right?
No. Why?
No, it really does, like-
why do you like? Why
As a
would a
man.
guy? Why would a guy? Since nowadays it's in style to wear baggy board shorts. Why would a guy even care about leg day? What would it
Because
help
they don't
him?
care about proportion and symmetry.
No, I'm saying
No,
like,
it's
No, not the
like,
average
isn't
you
guy.
can't
it,
really see it. Like I
But
mean,
it does release
basketball shorts. you
Yeah.
can
more
really-
test, and it helps your all the. other
yeah, it
muscles
like
grow.
actually makes your upper body. I don't know the sign. I'm
No.
No, it's 'cause
I
a
didn't
lot
go
of
to
test
school for
builds up in
this,
your,
so-
your legs, right? When you work those muscles out, it
and it
generates-
releases it.
Yeah.
So,
it's important to hit
I don't know
all
the
muscle
scientific
groups. Well, and the thing is,
behind it.
when guys do chest, and never do back too. I mean, all those
They look like a
muscles
cobra.
oppose each other.
I've seen those guys.
Every
Well,
muscle
no,
group in
like-
your body has an opposing group.
Yeah.
And same with the upper body and the lower body. So it's just important to work everything because, like, I can't tell you how many guys I see that work chest so much that they literally walk around like this. You
Yeah.
know, they're not balancing anything else.
That's
They're
how
not
I got
relaxed.
injured from my last show. Was my chest was way too tight that it was pulling. I had no idea. My posture was. I've actually
Well,
probably been
and that
slouching
could
this whole
affect you,
time.
like, not growing your glutes.
That's why my glutes didn't
Yeah,
grow. My last show
exactly.
is because my chest was too tight. It was pulling on my shoulders, pulling on my back. Everything was pulling. That my glutes weren't getting enough
could
oxygen.
squat all day
That
long.
it couldn't.
Right.
That, they
See,
weren't
it's
growing.
super technical,
Sure.
and there's a lot of strategy and technique to it. It's not just
It's a
picking up
sport.
some
I'm sorry, I won't
picking up
fight
some
anyone who says
weights
it's
and
not a sport.
throwing it
Same
around,
with
right?
cheerleading. I don't understand how you watch those gymnasts like do those tumbling passes and what they do and say it's not a sport. I'm sorry.
I mean, we
Well-
are all
Like-
insecure narcissists, but it's okay.
I mean, all this
It's okay.
stuff, this stuff, it's really interesting. We could talk about it forever,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the stuff that you've talked about.
We should do a part two
But-
of this.
I know. I mean,
Later.
we'll have you come. We'll
I-
have you come back again.
I
We've
love
been
talking
here-
about myself.
We've been here like almost over an hour.
I love talking about
let's-
myself.
So,
Anytime. I'm free.
Robyn,
Just ask me all the
for
questions.
real, like to kind of wrap this up and to kind of like have people be able to take something tangible for this, because 99% of the people that go to the gym don't compete, but most people want to look better, and a lot of people want to be fit. So if you could say 3 things or a few things, however many things you would say, what would be the most important things that someone could take away from this podcast that you would say they could do a change in their life that would make them either look better, feel better, look more fit? What would be like the most important things that are actually practical to
implement, most easily to implement?
Generic. I think the number one thing that comes to mind is be consistent. Most people are
consistent
lazy
at
and
what?
impatient.
Consistent at what?
Either
your
eating
good
or working out,
Like
yeah.
if you're going to go to the gym or you're going to try and eat cleaner or get rid of sugar or whatever, like wait more than 10 days or 2 weeks for it to take effect.
Okay, but people wouldn't know
You
what
have to
you're saying
prove
be
your body
consistent
wrong.
at. So like
So-
what would be the change that they should be consistent
I think
at?
Consistently going to the gym instead of go once this week and then
Wait,
not
so
go,
when
and
I
then
sit
go.
down in the gym once and do sit-ups one time, I'm not going to have a
You have
six-pack.
six packs like the next day.
I usually
Like,
end
do it
up
for at
just
least a
laying
month.
there.
Like I just throw that out there. Do something. That whole habit 30 days thing. Like whatever you do. So
I thought it was
If you
14
could
days.
tell-
but
if you could
30
tell a
days,
girl-
I think it's
If you could tell a girl to do one exercise for a month,
squats.
what would you have her do? Or
Squats.
two exercises for a
Right.
month that she could go to the gym
Squats.
and do 9 sets of lifting along with her
Well, a lot of
normal
people do
20 minutes of
squats
cardio.
wrong,
What would you
so
do?
I don't know if I would say squats first. Maybe
So what
a
would you
leg
say?
press machine if you're going to go there.
Okay, so leg press.
A leg press and overhead shoulder press because I think that can transform a woman's body when you
Really?
build your shoulders.
Yeah.
So you would
Interesting.
recommend
Makes
that
you
more
look
than
good.
say even like lunges or something since it
People
does
do
use.
lunges wrong.
Okay,
Sorry.
well I mean obviously they do lunges.
If your
wrong.
form is right, then
If you know what
squats.
you're
you're
doing, then squat.
If you
or
have
do
somebody
lunges,
that will
yeah.
take you in and show you proper technique, if you do it properly,
Yeah.
what 2 exercises would you say
What are your
would make the
go-to?
biggest difference in a girl's body?
Yeah, if they're doing it right,
What?
squats and
Overhead
I'm going to say
shoulder
overhead
press.
press.
I would say too.
I don't know if everybody would agree with me on that, but
I
I
would.
think shoulders really shape and sculpt
Of course,
the body,
we would
and they
say
give you
bench
the
press,
look
right?
that you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
bench press.
Bench press.
Shoulder press, like building out your shoulders, give women really nice. arms.
Okay, but I mean, we all know
Easy on
that
the-
it's like that saying. It's like
Oh, it's lame.
boobs on a fat girl are as worthless as abs on a skinny dude. I mean, if you're skinny, you're gonna have definition in your shoulders and your abs.
No,
No, you're not. That's like
No, you're
saying
not.
if you get down to 5% body
Swear.
fat, you're gonna
I'm
have
telling you,
six-pack.
I
It's
have
not true.
seen dudes that have never done a crunch in their life have a six pack.
That's
So
genetics.
how?
That's
Okay,
genetics.
okay.
Not
and also
everybody
because
has that.
you use your core to stand.
But
Like,
you and I, we all know.
That's called
we all
being a
know-
laga.
Okay, but no. But we all know that everybody has all the muscles in your body are in there, and
No, listen.
yeah, that's true. They are.
People will say if
Endomorphs,
you get down
ectomorphs,
to 10% body fat, then you look like this.
mesomorphs.
If you're 5%
a
body fat, you look like
lie.
this. It's not true. If you
No,
haven't
I'm
built
not
that
saying you look
muscle
like that, but
under
I'm
there-
saying the muscles are all in there.
Adam, you're
So
being voted off the island right
what's
now.
the best way? What's
We're
the best
voting.
way-
We're voting you
What's
off
the
the
best way for a
island.
girl to burn fat to get
Lift
closer?
more girls.
Lifting-
So that was the next thing I was going to say. Like, be consistent, but lift more, do
more
less
girls?
cardio, lift more.
Girls,
Lift
lift
more,
more.
comma, girls.
Oh, okay,
Smart.
okay.
Lift more, girls.
Okay, what about you?
Lift
What
more.
are 2
Don't be
things
afraid.
What are 2 things? What?
that you think
That
that
we can do.
easy takeaways that like you could apply right away into your fit life?
Into your fit life. Don't compare yourself to others.
And don't eat cheesy
But
biscuits.
isn't that hard for you
Everyone's
two? I mean,
different.
since you two actually
So-
compete, I mean, isn't that one of the things that made it so hard for
I
you? Is that you
actually-
felt yourself comparing?
So
to
my
even
first
more?
show, I like searched hashtags like for NPC Utah. I was like literally looking at all my competition, and it stressed me out to the point where literally I was so stressed, my cortisone levels were like too high, and so I cortisol. Wow, that
That's
was
the one that
embarrassing.
holds
This
fat.
is live, right?
It's okay.
Cortisol.
Shoot.
She knows.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
See,
Okay,
and
anyways.
add a bunch
So,
of other
yeah, so
sounds.
they were too high and it stressed me out. And so my other shows, I would like post on Instagram. I turned off all my
Yeah, get off
notifications.
social media.
I wouldn't look at anything. I never looked at the search page or anything because and I just didn't care. Like I was like, I don't care what anyone looks like. And it helped me out so much because I actually came in and when I saw everyone, I was like, oh,
Like, damn.
okay.
That's what
like-
we're all about is being the best version of
But like,
yourself.
and all I cared about was
right.
me, and so it wasn't like I kept comparing. And I worked on what I needed to work on, not what I thought the next girl looked like. The next girl had really awesome obliques, and so I wasn't constantly working on my obliques. I worked on what I needed to work on because I wasn't
Yeah.
focusing on what everyone else looked like. And so, really, when you focus on yourself and when you stop comparing yourself to others, like. Everyone has different genetics do play a role in
different
it.
strengths.
Like everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and everyone is different. Everyone's body type is different, and like what you see on someone's Instagram is not what you're going to see in person
I don't know how many
always.
filters
And so
deep that picture
exactly. Yeah. No, seriously
myself,
though.
I'm
Seriously
not-
though, so guilty
Yeah.
or
You have no
Photoshop or
idea.
anything and like
Photoshop.
Well, especially if you're talking about stage stuff, because so much
Yeah.
else comes into play than just
So it's like,
that's still
don't
image
compare
right
yourself to
there.
others. I think that is one huge thing.
Cool.
Another thing
It's really good.
to apply. Thanks. Trying to,
You can
What
think of
about,
it.
I mean,
I'll
since
think about it.
Since I know you like to snack, I mean,
Eat cake.
you made a big thing about cake and Oreos.
Oreos.
What
pizza.
nutritional changes do you think make the biggest difference?
Oh, realistically, well, huge differences is you don't have to be perfect on your diet. You really don't have to be perfect. Obviously, if you're getting on stage, yes. But like if you're just trying to be healthy and fit, everything in moderation to an extent. But cut out like anything processed and cut out like two main things that people I don't think that people really realize is like drinks, juices, sodas, stuff like that. Like don't drink your calories. Like
Don't waste your calories.
there's so
Not
many
worth it.
calories in juices and stuff like that.
I don't drink any
And-
calories. These are 0 calories.
Mine's
And
zero
also,
calories
like,
too. Totally healthy.
Another like huge thing that I was taught that if you cannot pronounce what is on the ingredients,
Sorry, I'm gonna have to call you on that one.
really?
That's not true.
There's too many natural things that are hard to pronounce.
Okay, but like obviously
that's
I'm taking
true.
if you pick up a thing of ho-hos, like
Fructose oligosaccharides.
So
People can't pronounce that, but
cyanocobalamin is probably not good, or pyridoxine
well, like some people would
hydrochloride.
pronounce ginseng wrong, or pantothenic acid.
but I'm saying
Well,
like
that's-
I'm not saying like if you go to
See,
Good
those are-
Earth
Why
and you
don't we
pick
say
something
this?
up.
Can we say
Sucralose.
this if
Like-
you don't know what it is?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know
Like-
what it is and where it comes from? Is that
Or if
fair?
you're gonna look into it and you can't pronounce it and you research it and it's obviously a bunch of freaking chemicals,
just
then
know
don't
what you're
eat
putting
it.
in
Like
your body.
just know what you're putting in your
Yeah.
body. That's
Okay,
for
well,
what I meant by that.
So,
like real food.
Robyn,
Yes.
what would you say?
Eat
What
real
would you
food.
say to change? What are the things that you would say? Eat less of this and more of this.
I think people have no idea how much sugar and carbs that they eat, and it's not that all
Mm-hmm.
carbs are bad.
I love
I
carbs.
totally agree with you, right? We all love carbs because it's fast and easy for our body to use them. Your body's
why
going
do-
to
I
crave
mean,
carbs.
we
You're going
do.
to want it. Absolutely, because your body does not want to burn fat.
Mm-hmm.
It wants quick, easy fuel. So when you say like, "Oh, I'm listening to my body," or "I just feel really tired," and like, yeah, that's because you're making your body burn fat and it's pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I tell that
Yeah.
to clients, like,
Yeah.
that's usually a good sign. But you don't have to be starving to get lean or to lose weight. You do not have to starve. In fact, I often add more calories and food to my clients' diets. When they first come to me, women are always eating too little. Just eat more of the right stuff. Like I eat 6 times a day. I eat a lot of food.
Okay, so
Just needs
so
to be the
what
right
so
food.
what would you tell girls to eat less of
So
and more?
Eat less breads and starches and carbs and sugary things.
Cereal.
Eat lean protein at every meal
Brownies.
and good fats.
So you have protein with every meal.
Pop-Tarts.
Do you eat meat with every meal, or does
not
there's that
necessarily.
powdered
Sometimes
protein
it's
or
eggs.
egg
Sometimes
white?
it's protein or like a bar just because of like time and convenience.
Quest bars,
But-
a great source of protein.
That's my treat. That's my new treat. You know, for everyone that's not
Future
gonna work.
sponsors,
but-
I heard.
Yeah.
You know, like so lean are a good source of protein at every meal, and then like lots and lots of veggies and like whole foods because it's good fiber. It fills you up. You're getting all those nutrients. This is the problem I have is when people discount like the quality of the food that you're
Yeah.
eating. So thank you for pointing that out.
But
Like,
also you
real
it doesn't
food,
need to be
please.
I feel like so many people think it needs to be like so complicated. It's not
It's not
complicated.
that complicated.
Just don't eat crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know
like,
what it is.
we could-
Don't
You
be
know what it
stupid.
is,
Like
yeah. People
it's
will say, I don't need to do
I
that."
feel like people just want them to handed an answer because they want an easy
They
answer.
want a magic pill.
They want yes, that's what people
There's no
want.
Magic pill.
you
You know what it is.
We should probably do a part 2 of this because
Yeah.
it was. I think
Yeah.
a bunch of different ways to go in, and we
Michael's
want
bored.
to. No, I just don't want. I know we're running a little bit longer than we anticipate, and want to make sure that it stays
gets back
within.
to
Well, I mean, the truth
Yeah.
is,
Do you have to
Robyn,
go back?
I really appreciate
Slave
you
hours.
coming because you really do know your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're educated. You're certified. You've competed. You've been. I mean, you are our mom, so you understand what it's like to do all the things that a lot of people want to be fit, and you are able to be fit as a single mom. Full-time job, 3 kids, it's really admirable. And so
Mm-hmm.
you really embody what Riven is all about. You're able to make the best version of
do
yourself,
too.
and you sacrifice a lot to be able to be the person that you want to be, the best version of yourself. And it's like we say, me versus myself. And so comparing is something that, it sometimes can be detrimental. And so I love that you embody that. We really appreciate you being here.
And you'll be back as much as you can.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could address specific like tips and help
Okay.
people.
Well, hey.
I thought of like 10 different topics just while we were going.
Yeah,
I need to get like a
absolutely.
notepad.
Well, thanks everybody for watching, and tune in every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, this will be on Facebook, Instagram.
We'll get more
Twitter.
consistent and dial in
We'll
better
have
and better.
it, but we
every
have a lot of great guests lined up. So tune in every week. We really appreciate you watching and sharing with your friends. Again, Robyn, thanks for being here.
Thanks,
Thank
Robyn.
you for having me.
And
Of course.
what's your guys' swerve?
Oh
What do
my,
you got?
Sign
no.
off or what?
Stay humble, hustle hard. now you're on the spot. Swerve.
I got nothing.
I-
Swerve?
I got nothing.
Swear, we don't need to get into this
Okay.
again.
Okay.
We don't need to
Okay.
get into this again.
Adam had
Thanks,
a good
Robyn.
one. Throwing up deuces or something like that.
Peace. Okay.
Peace out.
All right. Thanks. All right, guys. Cool.